Hello and welcome back to Global Goals Studio. Sister Murray, I just want to ask you about the term moral leadership. That can be a very loaded term. What exactly does that term, moral leadership, mean to you? And what examples of moral leadership are you seeing through today's crisis?
I think moral leadership is the capacity, either as an individual or as a group, to see where things might be different, and to see that the change that you imagine. Jacqueline talked about moral imagination. I think moral leaders have that kind of imagination. They see the reality as it is. They don't deny that reality, but they see that change is possible, and that change is possible through them as individuals, but also through collaboration and networking and solidarity with others. I think I'm seeing examples of moral leadership in young people today. I'm thinking of so many young people who are calling out for change in different aspects of life. But I'm also seeing examples of moral leadership within my own community of sisters worldwide, where we're being agile and flexible and moving to new needs at the grassroots level. I think of many sisters who are showing leadership in the area of confronting human trafficking, who are welcoming migrants, who are leading projects on the ground for real needs that are emerging daily. So I think the kind of moral leaders show flexibility. They also have courage. They're prepared to risk.
Jacqueline Novogratz, when people hear moral leadership, they often do think about faith-based communities, but can a faith-based approach to the Sustainable Development Goals mesh actually with a market-based approach?
Oh, absolutely. I think that they coalesce around what I would call a hard-edged hope. That what's so extraordinary to me about so many of the morally based social entrepreneurs is that they see possibility where others don't. I think of a guy named Sam Polk who saw the problem of food deserts, urban centers where low-income people don't get access to affordable, nutritious food. And he decided to solve it with a fast food, affordable, nutritious restaurant. But he had a North Star, which was healthy, affordable food. So when lockdown and COVID happened, rather than shut his doors, he reached out and said, if you need food, we will deliver it to you. If you can't afford to pay, let us know. We'll get it to you anyway. And that released an opening of citizenship rather than just consumerism, because he gave other individuals the opportunity to contribute, pay it forward. And then government began to partner with him so that he could then deliver food to homeless people and disadvantaged youth. And already in the last few months, this organization, this company, has increased jobs in Southern LA, a low-income neighborhood, and delivered 3 million meals. To me, that's an example of moral leadership to build on what Sister Pat said. It's the moral imagination of asking yourself, how can I serve others in ways that make sense and will sustain?
Sister Pat Murray, it's often been said that economic justice is a moral imperative. What does that mean to you?
To me, it means that we share the resources that we have worldwide in a much more equitable way. And I think when you see people struggling to put food on the table, people who haven't enough, can't clothe themselves, lack housing, lack the basics of life, and then others among us live in luxury. I think in some way we have to create systems, and Pope Francis is regularly calling for a more just economic system, so that the resources of this world and the goods that are there for humanity are more equally distributed. But that takes in a sense, a change of heart at the personal level. You don't change systems without changing personal hearts. So I think one of the things that I would be appealing to, I would be saying to myself and saying to others, can we look and see what I can do? What's the step I can take in order to build a fairer world?
All right, I want to say a big, huge thank you to Jacqueline Novogratz, the founder and CEO of Acumen, as well as Sister Pat Murray, UISG Executive Secretary. This is the Global Goals Studio. Thank you for watching.
The racial and economic disparities that have long existed in this country have only been widened by the coronavirus and amplified by the most recent acts of injustice. People around the world are coming together with greater urgency to demand action. At Bank of America, we know we all have a role to play to overcome the very real consequences of systemic racism and inequity. This includes individuals, governments, nonprofits, and the private sector. Racial equality and economic opportunity are deeply connected. That's why Bank of America has committed $1 billion over 4 years to address critical gaps in affordable housing, access to healthcare, employment and job skills, and the resources small businesses need to succeed. We can do more, and we need to do more now to further advance racial equality and economic opportunity for all.